Hey YouTube, it's our first boil here. There's about 8 gallons on there. Each one of those hold roughly 4 gallons, and yeah, we're gonna start our boil. It's gonna take a while. I got another 20 gallons to go for this boil anyway. So I'll be boiling through the day and part of the night. I gotta get set up with a evaporator. These little propane burners, they do the job, but it's not cost effective. It's costing me just as much to buy propane as it is to buy maple syrup, but it's my own maple syrup. So now I've been boiling for a while, and I haven't had to strain anything off yet. Usually you get a foam buildup when it's boiling hard like that. You get a foam, and it's almost like a scum that comes on the top of your sap, or on your sap. But I haven't had to take no foam off. There's been no foam, no scum. There's the first little bit of foam right there, and I don't know a whole lot about it. From what I hear, that means high sugar content, and it's that you can smell the sugar. So hopefully what I heard is true. This is going to be a high sugar batch. That means I don't have to boil down as much. That means 40-1 is the given. Hopefully it's lower than 40-1. Okay, so here's what I ended up with. These 5 here. You can see they're a little cloudy, but not too bad. They weren't filtered. They were filtered. They were filtered. Well, the sap was filtered before I boiled it, and then I refiltered it once it was reduced down before I did the final boil to make sap. I had it reduced by, I'm going to say I had to reduce it again by half by the time I brung it in. Let's put it that way. And I ended up with this here. So I filtered it then, and then I filtered it as I was putting it in the bottles. Now, these 2 bottles here, this is my syrup from last year, and it's nice and clean, but this stuff here I filtered like 4 or 5 times. And really, if I'm just doing it for myself, why bother? There's no difference in the taste. I'm not selling it, so you can take a look at the difference between the last year's and this year's. You can see how much clearer last year's is than this year's. This will clear up too, because it's only been sitting for a day. All that sugar sand, and there's a name for it, it'll all settle to the bottom, and then this will clear up too. But myself, I like the dark stuff better than the light. I find there's more flavor to it. It's a richer, deeper, darker, smokier taste than the first of the year syrup. So anyway, out there, these 2 bottles, one's going to Mom, one's going to Dad. The rest is going back in the pantry. These are staying in the pantry. Yeah, so that's what I had last year. All the syrup I boiled, I was left over with these 2. Well, we had some of those bought before I boiled. So yeah, we still had that left over from last year's boil, which is perfect. They'll get used, they won't go to waste. And these bottles here, this is just my first boil, so I got more to go. I probably have, hopefully I'll have twice that amount by the end of the season. Like I said, I only got 10 trees tapped, so just a little small process. I gotta get set up with an evaporator. Just a homemade evaporator will do. I could get more trees tapped, won't cost as much. Them 2 propane tanks, I still got probably a third of the propane left out of those 2 tanks, and one tank was a 30-pound tank and one was a 20-pound tank. So I can probably get off another liter of syrup made with the tank I got, and that brings it up to where it is cheaper to make it than it is to buy it. So not by a whole lot, but by a little bit. These bottles here are at the supermarket are, we looked it up, $11 a bottle, which is, you don't, like, it says pure maple syrup, but there is some producers that do add sugar to bring their sugar content up. I'm not saying that they do, but I know there is some that do it. This is my own pure maple syrup. So if you take $11, that's $55 plus your tax. So you're up 60-some bucks. And it only cost me $50 for propane, so I'm already up $10 compared to if I bought it all. So whatever, you don't do it for the cost, you do it for the enjoyment of having your own maple syrup. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.